Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to my dear panels. I am Iffah Zulaikha binti Saiful Bahri and my metric number is 8E170131. Today I'm going to present about my final year project 2, which is ride-hailing application for shuttle bus service in UTHM campus, and my supervisor is Tia Sharifah binti Saon. For the background, what is ride-hailing and what does the application do? Well, actually ride-hailing is like a Grab application where E is electronic while hail means stopping a taxi. This project aims to develop an application that students can use to locate the bus in real time and interact with the bus driver. There are 3 objectives. The first one is develop an Android application of the shuttle bus services to analyze the performance of developed system to minimize path length when student is absent at certain pit stops. Scopes of project are divided into 4 phases, which are database acquisition, systems design, systems testing, survey and questionnaire. So this I will explain more on the methodology. Okay, literature review. I will talk about 3 papers that I have cited. The first one is from S. Dawan, which is E-cab hailing, a study on consumer behavior. So the method used is actually survey and questionnaire, and the specification is to study on consumer behavior on e-hailing. So this paper talks about the consumer behavior about the e-cab hailing, on how the process has become a part and parcel of everybody's life. And the second one from MS Alamgir. So it is called Chittagong University's Teachers Bus Tracking System using smartphone application. It uses GPS technology in vehicle application, Firebase, user app and Google Map API. So the specification of the study is real-time bus tracking system by using an Android application. So this bus tracking system will be able to track the current location of the bus, the distance from any bus stop, and time to reach a specific destination of the bus through the user application, and the data will be stored in the Firebase. So the last paper is from MN Hassan and M. Sharif Hossein. This paper is actually quite similar to the paper before. It is called Develop of an Android-based real-time bus tracking system. So the method used is almost the same. It uses GPS technology, Android platform, Firebase server, and also Google Map. And then the specification of the study is by using Android platform. So this system contains 3 modules, which are actually admin module, student module, and also driver module. So the admin module has authority to change the path, driver's info, bus number of the driver, and for student, they will get all the buses and driver related information. They can get it online as well as offline too. So students can track the location of their buses from any location. Next will be the methodology. So there are 4 phases like I've mentioned before, which are, the first one is database acquisition. So there are path length between each pit stop. The interval of each pit stop is used to determine the path length over time to estimate the approximate time for the bus to reach each pit stops. This enables calculating bus arrival so that students can reduce waiting time. Next one will be the number of students that did not register for any vehicle. So by having the unregistered students, we will know the possible number of students that will use the bus. Then the bus schedule. The bus schedule is to know the pattern bus arrive at each pit stops. And lastly, the total number of buses in UTHM campus, so that we can record all of the available buses inside the UTHM itself. Phase 2 will be the systems design. So in this phase, it focuses on developing an Android application. So the first one is Firebase real-time database. So this Firebase real-time database will automatically receive updates with newest data system, and it will fetch uploaded data from same database. Then the data in Firebase is synced across all the clients in real time. So in this case, the clients will be the student as well as the drivers. Google API. Well, Google API is actually for map development, which will receive coordinates from all the satellite. And then lastly would be the Android Studio, which allows development of Android application in order to run app through Android device. This Android Studio actually builds the students and drivers module. Next will be the systems testing phase, where at this phase, the system will be simulated to ensure the system is functioning correctly and the result can be reached. Lastly, the survey and questionnaire. So survey and questionnaire will be distributed in order to get the information needed for this project. So for the results and discussion, the first one will be the students module. So for the apps icon, actually the students and the drivers module can see the apps icon. And then the registration page for the students, they have to put their name, email, and also password. Next will be the login page. After they have successfully created their account, they can put their email and also password to log into the application. Next, the sidebar menu for the student will have their name, email, and also they can sign out from the application. And lastly, the student maps with bus details. So here, they can see the location of the bus and then the driver name. The driver name is actually the bus name and then bus number and lastly, the traveling time of the bus from them. So they can actually pick any bus that they like and then they can click the request button. Next, the results and discussion for the drivers module. So actually the main page for the students and drivers is the same where they can register and then log in. But then the register as driver will only be controlled by the admin because through the survey that I've did, the driver do not have any Google account. So it is actually a challenge for them to do that. Next, the registration page. So the admin will have to put their name, the bus name, the email, the password, and also the bus number. So after the admin has successfully created the account, they can give the credentials to the bus driver so that they can log into the application. So actually the email will be like Purwirawan because it will follow the bus number. Next will be the driver maps. So the driver maps, they can see the other buses and as well as the student's location. Lastly is the drop-down menu where they can see the student has requested a bus and also they can see whether they have shared their location or not. And then the results and discussion for the Firebase real-time database. For the first figure, shows the Firebase authentication with the drivers and students information. So the time of the created account and the last login date into the application will be seen here. And then the user UID, which is the unique identification, is automatically generated by the system for a new user who signs up for this application. And then the graph for active users. So this graph actually shows the number of active users for the past 30 days. This graph shows any user interaction with the application. So if the same user engaged with the application more than once in a period of time, the system still counts them as one. Okay, so for the analysis. The survey has been conducted before the system has actually been published because due to COVID-19, the survey after the system has been used cannot be conducted. So, the students' feedback. The first one is the students start bringing their car to campus. So, as we all know that UTHM only allows students to bring their car at the third year. So, as you can see from SEM 1 until SEM 4, a total of 16 out of 30 students, which is equivalent to 53%, actually brings their own car, which means they actually disobey the UTHM rules. And then the students' mode of transportation. So only 4 out of 30 students actually ride the bus as their transportation to class. And lastly, the type of transportation at distance, where above 300 meter, actually students will definitely willing to ride their car and motorcycle, while bus is the third highest transportation that they will use. Next is the students' UTHM bus service usage. So 11 out of 30 students, which is the highest, seldom use the bus, and then only 5 students actually use the bus service regularly. And then the student satisfaction with bus UTHM service. So majority of students felt neutral on this topic, but it is a relief that most students are satisfied with the shuttle bus service, although it can be further improved. Lastly, the students' Katsana application usage. 73% students knows about this application and 13 respondents said that the Katsana application is good. Some respondents said that this application can help students track the bus in real time, easy to identify the bus schedule, and easy to access. Although, some respondents have the opinion that the application has terrible interfaces, reliability, and slowness. However, it is a good result as the application is under development and further improvements can be made. Next is an analysis for the driver's feedback. So, this survey has been conducted by non-formal interview because when I actually handed out the Google form, they don't know how to use it because they don't have any Google email. So I have interviewed them in person with 6 Pewira bus drivers. So they actually suggested that the students communicate better with the fellow drivers by telling them beforehand where they want to go once they enter the bus. And then the next one is drivers do not have any problem downloading this application, but they do need a proper internet connection in order for them to download this application. And lastly, they really highlighted that they disagree with the shuttle bus service schedule in which the rest time for the driver should be considered. So as for conclusion, with this application, students can manage their time wisely by riding their desired bus so that they will not be late for the classes and hence they will not miss their lessons. This is because students will be able to get the real-time location of the bus. And lastly, by having this app, they will know the exact time of the bus that will arrive at their nearest bus stop to estimate the arrival time to their respective classes on time. As for recommendation, the operating system can be upgraded to be compatible with iOS since the current application can only be supported by Android. The next one, the system can have more bus routes option instead of just per route. Then the application can also add on bus indicator that shows the bus next stop. For example, at the LRT, they have indication which stop they are going to. Next, add on a drop-down menu or info menu where bus routes and the number of the buses will be available. And lastly, the system should be more optimizable if a feedback menu is added to this system so that it will significantly improve the system. And for the project achievement, I managed to get the silver award for the IRIA competition recently. That's all from me. Thank you.